I'm sure you'll find them quickly, Enoch.
So welcome to one of the other montages I've seen in games.
Recognize me, Enoch? I brought this body to deliver a message. We are at your side.
So the little Enoch fighting in the corner is actually player controlled.
Okay.
This is meant to be a metaphor of Enoch's endless journey.
There's just something about you.
I hope you find who you're looking for.
So, like, to use this opportunity to give a quick rundown on the actual premise of the game. When Lucifer said that things are about to get wetter,
There's plenty of time.
that's because
In fact, all the time in
the
the world.
Grigori, the Watchers, kinda fell in love with the humans and decided to cut them off from God.
The fallen angels must be there.
And God got pissed over that because they messed with the evolution of humanity and just decided, fuck this, let's flood everything and start over.
Azazel is after you.
Okay.
And Enoch's decision was, Enoch asked like, oh, can I fix this myself then, please? I like get the angels back to you and nobody needs to get flooded or killed. And they gave him the chance.
Okay.
That's kind of like the back of the box description of it.
Yeah.
Fear not, Hadroniel. The four great angels are with thee.
This is so very
I'll be
stylish.
getting married soon.
Yeah.
Unlike you, I can't stay young forever.
So I think a lot of this was meant to be concept art
How is it you do not
for
age?
sections in the game.
Yeah.
But I think it all got cut off, and I like say why we think it's concept art in this specific picture.
Show Eved the meaning of mortality.
You have been granted the gift of immortality. Your quest will continue until you find the fallen ones. Huh? Me? I'm not going anywhere.
See, like in this picture, you see a conversation between Enoch and Lucifer,
Raphael has a gift.
and there's a little speech bubble with Japanese text in it. So it either looks like a comic or concept art or
Yeah.
something like that.
These lakes appeared a century ago.
It makes sense for this game because this one's meant to be a trilogy of games.
So this is where
Oh,
they
okay.
The company who started this game, they wanted to make a series of religiously themed games.
Yeah.
But after El Shaddai, they got bought out by
You don't
Disney,
know
I
when to
think?
quit.
Okay.
and then just became a subsidiary doing I don't know what. I haven't actually seen anything new from BTV Ignition. But this game was made by their Japanese branch, which was meant to make religiously themed games.
Okay.
The only sequel this game ever got was actually a mobile phone game in Japan,
Interesting.
which was like a full-on social game, and I have actually no idea how that plays.
Yeah. Interesting.
And now 300 years later.
I warned you not to follow us.
So welcome to this fight again.
Have it your own way.
But now we have a weapon. And that does absolutely nothing.
You're getting your ass handed to you.
Yep.
Don't give up. Keep moving.
This is one of those fights where you have to die. But here's the thing about the Watchers. They will actually, at certain points in the game, just downright ambush you and attack you in these fights. And
Okay.
if you lose in those fights, you don't get a second chance to
This
fight
is the
them at that
last
moment.
time you will see me.
Okay. Oh, I
Do not
like
make
that.
the wrong choice again.
What that actually does is, if you do manage to defeat them, they actually have less health when you fight them for real.
Okay. Oh, I like that.
Yeah, that's one of, like, since the game is really forgiving because you can always kind of mash your way out of unconsciousness.
Yeah.
That's a bit more difficult section.
Okay.
So this is a freeman who is one of two sources of in-game text lore.
Okay.
They kind of talk about the general observations of humanity currently on Earth or in the Tower of the Watchers. So it's kind of like a reflection of what's going on around you. And this particular message referred to how a man from the heavens came, which is you. So the punch and the kick are absolutely, positively useless.
But your weapon is gone.
Don't worry.
Great. This is not a job for bare hands.
Now here comes the main combat thing. You can actually steal your enemy's weapons.
Ah.
Now, what that does for us at this moment is we get a weapon if we lose it, and it also gives us a free purification. Because usually you're vulnerable while purifying a weapon, but if you steal a weapon, you can do it essentially for free.
Okay.
And your enemy doesn't have a weapon anymore, so that's also cool.
Gosh, this is just so very stylish.
Yeah, it is. It looks so good despite being a PlayStation 3 game.
Yeah.
It's working with your limitations.
It really is.
That abomination is the tower in which the fallen ones hide. Strange. I don't sense their souls within.
So these orbs are gonna be important later on, and we kinda need to collect them now, but like I said, I'll try not to be too annoying with the collection because, you know, it takes the time that takes to just like break everything and take orbs, it piles up.
Okay.
Hey, sorry about that. No, haven't found it yet. But we're getting close. I feel it in my bones. Okay, I'll be in touch.
So I don't think we need to explain who Lucifer actually is. I mean,
Yeah.
that reference is pretty clear. And as far as Enoch goes, he is basically the great-grandfather or ancestor of Noah. At least officially.
Yeah.
And like in the like official Christian lore, myths, whatever, Enoch was someone who walked with God, as they put it. While in this game, that's explained as Enoch was such a good guy in real life that God basically let him into heaven much earlier. Like that, oh, you can stay in heaven now even though you're not dead.
Okay. I love how, like, the area you're running on, I love how it's like got this like shimmering text through it. That's just beautiful art direction.
Yeah. The game has a few shortcomings, which I'll refer to much later in the game when they do happen, but the art direction never stops being really good. And like all the environments aren't all super abstract artsy, there are actually a few very clearly defined areas.
Okay.
And here's the tower.
That's just kind of freaky.
Yeah, it looks very ominously evil.
Yeah.
The Watchers have this eye theme going on.
Yeah.
At last, you have found them.
That's super ominous.
Yeah. Don't worry, it's actually a very cheerful area.
You found it at last, Enoch. It only took you 300 years. A lot faster than I thought.
Only 300 years.
The Watchers are in that tower. You had trouble finding it because it's wrapped in a veil of distorted space.
Lucifer kind of doesn't give a
Watchers
crap
await you
about time,
within.
though.
No, I kind of get that
Seek
impression.
them out and bind them. His efforts had been hindered by a shroud of distorted space that hid its location. On the other side of this dimensional rift lies the giant tower the fallen angels erected, surrounded by a sprawling city.
So at the start of each chapter, there's like this third-person narration by Lucifer that kind of gives a recap of what had happened.
Okay.
To think a tower of this magnitude could be hidden within that
Oh,
interdimensional
look at
portal.
this.
Yep.
Oh, that's so pretty.
It's like a super abstract version of Mega City 1.
It's so very beautiful.
Yep. So, basically stealing weapons is kind of the best thing to do at this point,
Yeah.
because you're dealing then with a disarmed enemy. And that was a counterattack. So if you hold down square, Enoch does this charge-like motion, and if he gets hit, he can take a free hit during that and then just counterattack the enemy.
Alright.
So that's like used as a count. You have like standard attack, that's your counter attack, and you can do a block break, which is when he flips behind the enemy.
This is a switch that can be activated by striking it.
Also, if you walk next to the edge, you won't actually fall. You only fall if you jump off of it.
Okay.
So there's no accidental falling. And this is what I meant with guard breaks. So that's like the flip behind the enemy.
Yeah.
Guard break attacks.
Which looks like this, and you basically can just screw them over.
Oh, the combat is so lovely.
It's like a very simplified Devil May Cry.
Yeah.
But this is not a good place if you have vertigo. Especially because the higher you go, you can actually see the lower sections of the level.
Yeah. Oh, wow. I'm really loving the audio direction as well, actually.
Yeah, I'm not particularly a fan of the audio on its own, aside from a few tracks, but it fits the scenes very, very well.
It really does.
I feel so sorry for killing these cute little guys. But yeah, another thing the game does is the first time you do something fancy, like a new mechanic, it kind of does it in a cinematic. But after that, it just does it much faster.
Oh, that's cool.
So you don't have to watch like this entire cinematic of stealing a weapon over and over.
Yeah.
Hey, we found it. No doubt about it. They're here. They really outdone themselves, building something like this. Don't worry. It's not gonna be a problem. He's gonna be able to stop them. Alright, bye.
Also, I probably don't need to say that this is one of those titles for which you don't scroll down in Google search.
Yeah?
Yeah, because there is a lot of artwork with Enoch and Lucifer.
Ah.
And some other characters. Which we'll hopefully see soon.
Fan art.
Well, they were obviously designed with that in mind.
Oh, totally.
And this is the counterattack I explained earlier and demonstrated actually. One thing that thankfully can't happen is enemies knocking you off ledges.
Oh, that's nice.
Obviously it works vice versa, you can't knock them away, but honestly in most cases you don't want to because you'll be needing their weapons
Yeah.
quite often. Another layer to the combat is actually like how each weapon affects the other, but I'll explain that only after we've gotten our second weapon.
Okay.
God, look at how many buildings there are down there. Just massive.
It would appear the evolved ones worship the fallen angels as gods. They don't even realize how vain evolution is without strife.
So that's kind of like the main beef the council or heaven has with what the Watchers did. Because kind of the point was with humanity, oh they have to evolve on their own.
Yeah.
But the Watchers came and just gave them wisdom from the heavens right away with weapons and technology, and kind of just like force evolve them.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like using an evolution stone on your Pokemon, only with more repercussions. And because there's that big veil blocking Earth away from heaven, they have to send someone down there personally. Like, they can't actually do anything from heaven.
Oh, I love the fireworks.
Yeah, it's so happy. It's meant to show you how everybody's happy and how you're there to destroy that happiness.
Oh, we are terrible people.
So the free men, the ones giving you these, they're kind of a resistance group.
Okay.
And they're basically left to their own devices because, as I said, like because of the veil, God can't help them. So one thing to just like note about this game, whenever there's Christianity or religion in JRPGs and some Western games, it's kind of like this big criticism of religion and how it works.
Yeah.
This game, I haven't seen that in this game in particular. So this game is more like, oh, we're just using Christian lore. So they just kind of, aside from the liberties of fantasy, cyberpunk, and genes, they are actually by the book. I mean, trying to be by the book as much as possible.
Okay.
So this is a branching path, but it has the same drops on both sides, so there's really no reason to go back. And yet more vertigo moments.
Yeah.
Also, if you fall down a platform into the endless abyss, you don't die right away. You lose a section of your armor.
Oh, okay.
So it's not instant death, otherwise this game would be a nightmare, because trust me, I have fallen. This is my second playthrough. On my first playthrough I wasn't this virtuous in jumping.
I'm really bad at platformers.
This game gets some intense platforming moments.
Hey. Yeah. We got ourselves a situation. We just gotta trust him. Okay. Talk to you later.
Well, that's ominous, Lucifer.
Slowly, Heaven's trust in Enoch crumbles.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
Endless showers of blades.
Imagine how bad it would be if we met them.
I know, right? That sounds like it would be a terrible thing. Oh, look!
Oh, look. They look awfully familiar. And they have some kick-ass techno music.
Enoch, you do have the strangest pets. Okay, here's the deal. See these little things? They're called gales, weapons made from God's wisdom, just like arches. They'll be a little harder to steal. First, you'll need to get in close.
Oh god, I only just noticed now that his shirt is transparent.
Keep moving and evade attacks.
So not only can they fly, but are actually extremely good acrobats. See, this is what happens when you don't have a projectile weapon. You get spammed to death. That's fine, they have no more poles to jump on.
Phew.
And we're actually much closer to the tower now.
Ah.
Which I would argue isn't a good thing considering what it looks like.
Yeah, it is pretty ominous looking.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
This is like Evil Vegas or something.